Hi everyone. Give everyone a few minutes to log in, even though I'm a few minutes late. Sorry. My son asked to go for a walk. How do you say no to that? He's 14. I will take all the time I can get. You might have to. I forgot to open up my computer to share to my own page. Oops. Hi, Mom. Did I respond to your last text message? I don't remember. I'm a horrible daughter. I'm sorry. Hi. It's just been one of those days, you know, just one of those days. Busy at work and busy at home. It's okay. It's good busy. Tonight we're going to talk about the Hindu and Asian goddesses. So I've got a few different groupings. I have the Hindu, my apologies, the Mesopotamian, which are pretty much Sumerian and then into Babylonian. Okay, good. I'm so glad. Can't wait till we can see you guys. We miss you very much. You and Dad. And then I have primarily Chinese goddesses that we're going to be able to work with. Will you log onto my computer, please? On people.
I shared it on your page.
On my Facebook page? Okay. Personal?
I shared it onto the group, on my page, and your page.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, Jen. Long time no see.
Do you have approvals on?
I might. It was one of the things that Michael and I were talking about, Mom. How much he misses everybody. I, of course, have my decks for show and tell. Nothing new there. Oh, missed that one. I'm going to save Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary for the Ascended Masters. I'll make that announcement later. But I have my next couple series ready to go. Ishtar. Love her. I love her energy. I might sneak in one more goddess live to talk about some that didn't really fit anywhere else and I don't want to leave out because they are important. Like Lilith. I don't think we really talked about her. There's Lakshmi. Kali. Love it. I, of course, have some of my favorites because, well, I do. Green Tara. Don't know how I missed her. Kuan Yin. All right. So, I will get started. Thank you, dear. Oh, yeah, it was doing that earlier. So, I'm going to start with the Hindu goddesses, and you're probably going to hear some that are familiar to you in some way, whether you heard them just through social media or some other time in your life. Maybe you read a book. So here we go. Radha, or Radhika, is the embodiment of love, tenderness, compassion, and devotion. And her counterpart is Krishna. So not all of the goddesses had a husband in this particular one, or a male counterpart, but they did have some that do. So when they do, I'll call them out. So Radha is love, tenderness, compassion, and devotion. So anytime that you want to embody that more feminine, gentle energy. Hi, Lacey. She's somebody that you could work with. Okay, I'm going to try my best on this next one. It's a little bit of a mouthful. Kamadhenu. I'm going to say that. She's the goddess of cows and plenty. So like many ancient cultures, agriculture and farming, and especially animals, were very important. So she was the cow goddess, and cows are revered in Hinduism. That's why they don't eat anything from cows. So that's because cows are seen as the earthly embodiment of this goddess. And she is seen as the mother of the earth, and the milk nourishes human life, sometimes even to the detriment of her own calf. So that's where their idealism is around cows being sacred. Ganga is the goddess of the holiest river of the same name. She's all about purification, so there's that water element, makes sense, right? And forgiveness. So if you need to do any kind of soul cleanse or forgiveness work, Ganga would be good to work with. Parvati is one of my favorites. Her other name is Uma, U-M-A, Uma. She's the goddess of fertility, love, beauty, harmony, marriage, children, and devotion. So she's really important. She's got a lot of ground to cover. She's also divine strength and power. So you get that feminine, you get the softness, and you also get the strength and the power from her. Her counterpart is Shiva. Lakshmi, let me back up. So Parvati, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, these three goddesses I'm going to talk about are connected. So hang on. Lakshmi, love her. Many people love her in Hindu culture and also outside of it, because she is the goddess of wealth, good fortune, youth, and beauty. So who doesn't love all of that, right? Her counterpart is Vishnu. She's often depicted as seated on a lotus, and she's got a pot in her hands, which represents wealth. And she's surrounded by white elephants and adorned in gold jewelry, just all of the symbolism right there. She's widely adored and celebrated in, like I said, in many cultures, not just Hindu. Though many of their homes, they have a shrine, artwork, something to honor Lakshmi, because wealth, good fortune, all the good stuff, right? Saraswati, goddess 3, knowledge, music, art, speech, wisdom, and learning. So she's really good when you're a student and you're working with her, or if your career involves any of those things. Her counterpart is Brahma. So these three are the Trinity or the Tridevi of Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati. So the three of them, I believe that they're sisters, but don't quote me on that. It's a sisterhood, if nonetheless. And Haishar, and those three together are very important. Then we have, last but not least, there are so many, like all of the others that I've talked about. There are so many others. I just chose the top, if you will, that you might want to work with in your life. Of course, anyone that you're called to, whether it's any that I mentioned here or doing your own research and you find someone that jumps out at you, always trust that, because that divine being, male, female, we all know it's fluid, comes to you because they have something to say. They want to work with you. So listen to them. Listen to what they have to say. It's very important for your soul's growth. So last but not least, one of my favorites, Kali, or Kali Ma, or Mahakali, K-A-L-I. She is very powerful, and I love her so much. She is known as the destroyer of evil forces. She's a great warrior. She's black goddess, blue goddess, dark goddess. Her skin is depicted as very pigmented because of the evil forces destroying, death, associated with death, but not in an underworld kind of way, more of the destruction and chaos that comes with anything that stands in your way. So blocks, perceived enemies, anything or anyone who's standing in your way, ask Kali to help you. Her depictions can be pretty terrifying. So if you look her up, it's not always flattering. She's got that dark skin, red eyes. Her tongue is often protruding from her mouth, and she's like, ah. That's by design because of her energy. It's the depiction of her energy. But she's actually quite benevolent. So Maha, Kali Ma, it all means mother. So think of Mama Bear coming out to protect her young. She's very kind and compassionate and loving and devoted to her children. And if you mess with them, she will destroy you. So that's probably why I love her so much. She's the embodiment of that fierce maternal love and protection. And her origin story is really fascinating. How she was called by all of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, like all the big gods. They all came together and basically did like this Power Rangers thing where they all came together and aided with their own specific powers and projected, and it built Kali. It's incredible to have that kind of vision. So definitely worth the read to look that up. The gods were trying to defeat all of these demons, and they just kept coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. So finally, they got together, wielded their powers, created Kali. Kali came down and she was like, here we go. And she just eradicated the whole bunch. So, pretty cool. Yasmin Boland, you guys have heard me talk about her. She's an astrologer that I follow, very much into working with the moon. So if you're into the moon, Yasmin would be someone to try out and see if you like her style. I do, personally. So she last year, a year ago, during the initial quarantine of everything, hi Deneen, she did this chant for a long time, and it was calling upon Kali to come and destroy the virus. So maybe it worked. We'll see. All right, so done with Hindu. Now we're on to the Mesopotamian goddesses. The first one is Ishtar, and I really appreciate her energy. Her name, she also goes by Inanna, so you might see that. There's a couple different schools of thought around why she has two different names. Some of it's just going from Babylon to other settlement, just basically as cultures evolved. Another one is that Inanna has more of a soft feminine energy, whereas Ishtar is a little more hardcore. Either way, I love it. She's the embodiment of passionate love. So not like, oh, I love you. It's more like, I love you. And then hi, Beth. Then we have beauty, desire. So that's one side. And then the other side is war and combat. So they would call upon her for protection in battle. So again, if you're going up against any blocks that you need to get rid of, Ishtar, Kali Ma, who was the other one? Hold on. Was it cut? No. Anyway, definitely those two. They would be fantastic to ask for barriers to be lifted, for anybody that you're not getting along with very well. Not that you want harm, but just, remove them from my life because this is toxic. This isn't working. They're great. Ishtar is also associated with Venus. Tiamat is the goddess of the ocean or the sea, and she's also associated with dragons. So her story involves her turning into a dragon and kind of being more on the chaos end. So her evolution is different as well. So entertainment, go read that. Nisaba, grain, because to ancient peoples, just like animals, grain was very important. And also writing. She was the scribe of the gods. So if you're doing any kind of writing, she would be good to call upon. And Aja, or Aya. So it's either AJA or AYA. It's okay. Catch the replay by Deneen. She's the goddess of youth, love, and marriage. She's actually referred to as the bride. So if you would like to get married, or if you are getting married, she would be someone to work with. Now on to the Chinese goddesses. And the first one is Kuan Yin. And I love her energy. Everybody loves her energy. She is compassion embodied. She is the goddess of compassion, love, mercy, harmony, and healing. She's also the patron goddess of sailors and fishermen, because a lot of stories involve water for her. So safe passage for sailors and good catch for fishermen. She's equal to Mother Mary and Isis, if that gives you a frame of reference. Kuan Yin could be spelled a few different ways, but she just has this very tender energy when I work with her, and I appreciate that from her. She's very soft, very feminine, very kind and gentle. I appreciate her energy. Chang'e, or Chang'o, depending on Kelly with an I, Kelly with Y. She's the goddess of the moon. She's celebrated at what was called the Mid-Autumn Festival and is now known as the Moon Festival or the Lunar Festival, where they go out, they appreciate the moon, they eat moon cakes, and they give each other gifts. And it's this big celebration. There's a whole reason why. The story behind her is basically she stole an immortality potion and they chased her and she went to the moon. You can read all about it. Bao Gu, she is the master healing goddess. She watches over anyone who performs natural healing, so acupuncture and herbs, especially traditional Chinese medicine. So if you're doing any kind of holistic healing or healing work, Bao Gu would be good to call upon. Here's another one that's so long. Wang Mu Nyang Nyang. She's the goddess of fertility, health, and immortality. She's the protector of women, especially women who, I love this, didn't fall into the submissive norm that was expected of them back in ancient times, where society, and it's still a little bit today, we see it here, where society tells women, stay down here. So standing up for yourself, and she is like, yes. She actually was even respected by emperors at that in ancient times. So if you need any kind of power, any stand up for yourself power, she's your girl. Niu Kwa, she created the first humans, and she taught them how to farm, build dams and control flooding, and how to create life. We'll just say that. Fertility and family affairs is her gig. So basically the story goes, she created humans and then she got tired. So she was like, y'all can do this yourself. That's where that comes from. So if you're having any issues with fertility or in your family, if you want to build your family, call upon her. Lady Shan, meditation, peace, and protection. And she's regarded for her bravery and speaking up as a woman. So there's another feminine power for you. Zuku, divination, specifically oracles, sand, ash scrying, and reading. So if you're trying to learn any of that, call upon her to help you out. And finally, Lady White and Lady Blue. So they're not sisters, but they're like besties. Anyway, they're both snake goddesses. Sorry, dear. Lady White is all about healing and shape-shifting, and Lady Blue is about liberation when you're feeling trapped. So their backstory is intertwined. They were doing their thing and they got put into this basket and were turned into snakes, and a pagoda was built over it to keep them in. So that's where that liberation comes from when you feel trapped. So Lady White and Lady Blue. Healing and liberation, respectively. So, any questions? And of course, you can always come back and watch that and say, who did she say was good for what now?
No snakes,
Except for Lady White and Lady Blue. All right, so Kuan Yin, here's one depiction. I actually have an entire deck devoted to Kuan Yin, so I'll show you that. I also have an entire deck dedicated to Kali Ma. Love it. All right, so here's one depiction of Kuan Yin. See all that pink? Heart chakra, healing, femininity. What else can I pull from hers? Compassion. That's her name. It wouldn't surprise me if her name literally meant compassion. Here's Shakti. Love her energy. Transformation. Is that what hers is? Yeah, transformation. Absolutely love, love, love her. So I didn't talk about Green Tara. My bad. I knew I was missing somebody. Here's Green Tara. Tara has lots of different incarnations, but we'll just say colors. There's white Tara, green Tara. Those are probably the two that you're going to hear the most. But green specifically is who I like to work with. Her word is salvation. So overcoming limitation, sorry. She was a Tibetan goddess known as She Who Saves. How beautiful is that? You will never be alone in life's journey. Phineas is chasing lightning bugs in case you hear something. He's in his window seat. Very excited that there's, I can't even say the lightning bugs. I guess it's too early for that. Whatever's flying around out there, he's excited. Anyway. Ooh. She will ensure that the right people show up at the right time. That's awesome. Your needs will always be met. You don't need to know the how. Just trust. Salvation is contingent on your willingness to release your ego. A little bit of tough love there, but necessary. So the right people at the right time, salvation. And I heard be your own hero. How interesting. Love it. I really like her. So Tibetan for her. Here's Parvati. Her word is devotion. That's pretty close. Yeah, she's got the prayer hands. That's pretty close to what you're going to find if you just image artwork, Google image artwork. So here is a very subdued version of Kali Ma. So you can just call her Kali, Maha Kali. I like Kali Ma, that just feels right to me personally, but there's her liberation. You get the red in her headscarf and the swords. And the blue, I like the homage, the blue. Hi, Amber. Have you worked with Green Tara? Love Kali. Here's our girl Lakshmi, wealth, beauty, youth, good fortune, all the things. Gorgeous. Love it. She's got the coins there. Instead of sitting on the lotus, she's got lotus around her. I don't see the white elephants though in this particular version, but that's okay. It's just something you'll traditionally see. Saraswati. So that knowledge, that wisdom, there's that creativity. I don't know if it's a sitar especially, but it's definitely a musical instrument. So divine inspiration, I think, would be safe to say for her. Here's Ishtar. I like that her word is communion. I think that's interesting. I wonder why they chose that. This is pretty much how I see Ishtar. Being more aligned with that Babylonian, Syrian, traditional Jewish look about her. I think this is pretty close. Love it. And then I missed this one too. Benzai. Ooh, the font is a little tough to read. Hold on, I don't want to say it wrong. Because as we know, words are powerful. 10, it's a T. Okay, Benzai 10. Beauty. Oh. She's a Japanese goddess of beauty. Knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Open your eyes to the wonder everywhere, even the most unexpected places. Beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzai 10 will help you, especially in yourself. For those of us who have a hard time looking in the mirror, she'll help you see it. Your inner beauty shines outward. Someone can be physically attractive and not be attractive at all because their energy just isn't there. Someone can not be a supermodel and be one of the most attractive people in the room because their inner beauty shines outward. Oh, thanks for the love, guys. Always appreciate it. So I'll show you the Kali deck. I love it. Hi, Anne-Marie. All right, so let me find my absolute favorite. Okay, this one isn't my favorite, but this is pretty much what you're probably gonna find if you were to just Google image Kali Ma. Blue skin, red eyes. Yeah, this is what you're gonna see because this is that destructive, strike down your enemies, mama bear energy. I love it. Love it. But if I chose to hang up a picture of Kali in my home, probably not it. I like that one, but I don't think that's it. So here's where you're going to get the duality, the destroyer, and then the mother figure. Yeah, girl power, right? Ooh, I like that one. It's not my favorite. Where's my favorite? Oh, there she is doing a mudra. So all that is a hand placement. She's doing this particular one. Durga Kali. Yep, she's part of Durga. Shakti. You're going to notice, if you do some research on the Hindu goddesses, that they combine and they're all parts of each other. It's very interesting. There it is. I think. So here's one that I love. Here's another one. She has multiple arms. A lot of them do. And then here's another depiction. It is actually the cover that you're probably going to see pretty often. So she's wearing a necklace of the skulls of those demons that she slayed. And she's got a severed head with the bowl collecting the blood. She's got her sword. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. But I also really love this one. This is probably one that I would hang up in my home. I absolutely love it. It's, yeah, right? Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Very divine feminine, yet I'll kick your... There she is, a little more sensual. It's too bad Matt's not on my work husband. Anybody who plays World of Warcraft, this makes me think. I love it. Ooh, this looks like Moon Priestess vibes. All right, then I also have the Kuan, which is a bit softer. She's the compassion goddess, which is really, really lovely. So these are the backs of the cards. I know. And okay, so sorry. The Kali Oracle is by Alana Fairchild. Artwork by Jimmy Manton. This Kuan Yin deck is also by Alana Fairchild. And artist credit is not readily available, so my apologies. So these are different versions. I can't show that one. She would need pasties, we'll just put it that way. Sweeping Willow. Okay, the Lotus Throne. I love this one. Hi, Kristen. This one's the cover, Tai Chi Rising. Here you go, Beth. Radiant Moon of Compassion. Beth is one of my fellow moon sisters. These are absolutely beautiful. I have not yet worked enough with these to have a favorite just yet. Mother of Mercy. Can't show that one. It's beautiful though, sorry. If you're curious, you can get this deck. It's beautiful. I love the energy from it. The second that I held it in my hands before I even unboxed it, I'm like, this is beautiful. I just knew. Celestial Mountain. Absolutely gorgeous energy. You can feel the love and the compassion that Kuan Yin's energy brings. It's really lovely. All right, since I offered on all the other ones, does anyone want a goddess either from the Goddess Power Oracle by Collette Baron-Reid or one of the specific Kuan Yin or Kali Ma decks? Get a message. If you're catching the replay, just message me and I'll draw a card for you. I mean, if it's like after 10 o'clock at night, probably the next day. But I'll get it to you within the day. right, dear. Beth, you get Collie. Here we go. I like this one. Kamala Devi. I'll look it up. Hold on. Kamala Devi. Number 25. If I remember right, Devi means divine. That's if. Big if. All right. We witness her beauty, and all struggle melts into grace upon a grateful sigh. The heart softens into her protection and radiates peace. Her presence transforms frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless attraction. She is the golden pathway of divine manifestation and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give freely and joyfully. Abundant divine blessings are upon you. Okay. The gracious goddess Kamala reminds us not to make things more difficult for ourselves than they already need to be. Sometimes the assumption of burden is necessary for growth. At other times, growth happens when we learn to cast the burden aside, understanding that we will be able to offer so much more when not carrying another on our backs, so to speak. Sometimes a more graceful path evokes great spiritual progress, which ultimately benefits all beings. Kamala Devi holds the wealth-generating, life force-protecting qualities of preservation and cultivation. Ah, you can't pour from an empty cup. That's beautiful, dear. I love it. And I love this depiction. It's beautiful. I actually saw it a couple of times when I was going through looking for the other cards. I just didn't pull it because it didn't match that traditional depiction that I was looking for with the dark skin and the red energy. All right, Anne-Marie, which deck would you like? And Amber, which deck would you like? Yes, Beth, I think there were some messages in there that you needed. I have the Kuan Yin, the Kali, and then the Goddess Power that would give us other than what we just talked about tonight. All right, Amber, my choice. What about you, Emery? Do you have a specific deck that you were drawn to? Okay, Amber. Oh, you got Lakshmi. That's one of the ways, Anne-Marie. That is one of the ways. It's a few different ways to spell it. There you go, dear. Lakshmi. So wealth, beauty, youth, good fortune, all the things. Celebration of your purpose, wisdom, and compassionate prosperity. All your experience and all your skills are rich with meaning and purpose. As a result, you can expect to see evidence of this wealth in the world around you. You have the ability right now to create success in your life, and what you have to offer is of exalted value. The goddess of luck and prosperity says it's time to share your good fortune with others. She will show you how it multiplies when you apply gratitude, praise, and commitment to serve. If it's material success you intend, you shall co-create it. If it's a rich relationship, you will attract and develop it. You are a magnet for miracles. Ooh, love that. Nothing is out of reach when the goddess Lakshmi comes calling. That's gorgeous, Amber. Lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Never ceases to amaze me that no matter how many times I shuffle, somebody always gets one of the goddesses that we talked about. All right, Anne-Marie. Kuan Yin. This deck's a little stiffer because I haven't officially used it yet. But I spent time with it and I blessed it and all the things. So here we go. Okay, my nose is itching. Here we go. There it is. That was fast. All right, dear, you got Princess of the Autumn Harvest, number 22. And I opened up right to it. So here we go. You can already tell that this deck is going to be incredible. Here you go. This is the card. I'll try not to glare it. Okay. And I know it's backwards. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to fix that. There you go. The Princess of the Autumn Harvest brings gifts of bounty and blessing for efforts and action of the past. It's a time when fruit of labors is ripe for the picking. A beautiful blessing is on its way to you now. This may come in the form of a spiritual gift, an opportunity, a windfall of abundance, a significant relationship, or an important friendship, and more. With gratitude in your heart, you will recognize the blessing when it comes to you, and it will serve you perfectly. Be open to receive it, knowing it is justly deserved. A divine blessing is on its way to you now. Excuse me. It might be an obvious blessing where your heart sings and your spirit soars, or it might start off as a hidden blessing which leads you to that heart-opening state in a less obvious way. Sometimes we don't realize that we are being blessed because the blessing is avoiding something that would have caused us unnecessary pain or suffering, distracting us from our path and lowering our vibration for a time. So this might be that blessing in disguise, or might not, it's like, don't reject the gift just because it doesn't come wrapped how you thought it should. It's like, oh, that's a much smaller box than I thought it would be. Maybe that's not what I wanted. You open it and you're like, oh, I didn't need a huge box. It fit in this smaller box. That's great. May only be sometime later that we realize that we were indeed spared what could have been great suffering. Yeah, there's that blessing in disguise. Like that traffic jam that makes you 10 minutes late for work when you realize you come up to the intersection where you turn into work and there's a big accident there. Oh, I narrowly missed that. If I had been on time, I could have been in that accident. Sometimes we don't even realize how loved and protected we are in precious moments where we are gifted a blessing in disguise. To be able to open to receive more blessings in your life, and many are available from the endlessly loving, compassionate, and kind spiritual beings that surround us at all times. We can begin to cultivate a blessed frame of mind, allowing the Princess of Autumn Harvest, beloved Kuan Yin in her mode of grace, blessing and bestowal of all gifts, to reside in your heart will help you enter this state. The easiest way to do this is to have gratitude in your heart as often as possible. So working on your heart chakra, working with rose quartz, wearing the color pink, that'll all help open up your heart chakra, and always be in gratitude. I read something earlier this week that if we say 3 things that we're grateful for every day, whether it's when you wake up or before you go to bed, you're actually rewiring your brain and you're gonna live a more positive life. So it's not quite the rose-colored glasses mentality, because we can always take those off. It's changing your state of being and your way of thinking. So Kuan Yin is guiding you to go deeper into your own bliss. That's beautiful. And if I remember right, that sounds also like that Chang'e, the goddess of the moon, who's celebrated at the Mid-Autumn Festival. So maybe that jumped out at you as well. So Kuan Yin. Oh, are you wonderful? She must have known. That's why she jumped out. That's beautiful. And if 22 means anything to you, if not, 22 is one of those repeating Ascended Master divine numbers. So you can always look that up in numerology. Also 2 and 2 is 4. So absolutely beautiful. I hope that helped all of you. And if you were shy, or if you just weren't quite sure what all of this is about and something resonated for you and one of the cards for one of the others, take it as a message for you. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. So as promised, I said earlier that I would announce. So I am going to do an Ascended Masters version. So it'll be male and female energies. And I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to group them. It just came to me earlier when I was going over my notes for tonight's live that I needed to expand on this and do some of the Ascended Masters as well. So I'm going to be doing that. And like I said, I think I'm going to sneak in a live about some of the goddesses that are in here that didn't really fit anywhere else, just so that I can talk about them. So yay. All right. Does anyone have any parting thoughts, or anyone who has jumped on? Do you want a card? As I attempt to drop them. I do. I absolutely love this. I don't think I grabbed my Isis deck when I talked about her last week, but I do have a deck specifically for Isis as well. So as many goddesses as I can get. I love working with them. Wish they'd make a Lakshmi deck. That'd be fun. Of course, if you think of any questions, or if you're catching the replay and you have some questions, feel free to message me. I answer people all the time through direct messages, so feel free to do that, or you can email me. And I do have on my Etsy, I don't know, oh my gosh. I know I did on Instagram, but I don't know if I made the announcement on Facebook. I now have an Etsy shop where you can go. I have some specific readings that I don't have listed on my website. They're just in my Etsy shop. And that's in my link tree, which is in my bio. I know that. So I have a goddess reading that I do. That was actually my first sale. Somebody purchased, that I don't know, she's in another state. She purchased the goddess deck, or not deck, reading, and I use the goddess deck, and we elaborate with tarot or oracle or whatever else comes out. So usually like 25-30 minute reading, and we see what goddesses want to work with you and give their energy and channeled messages. So if that is something you're interested in, that is available on my Etsy shop along with others. I will be adding more. I just needed to, I think I did it about a week or so ago. Just needed to get some stuff up there and available. So, hi Becky. And I think that's it. So thank you all, as always, for joining me. And if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope that you have a beautiful weekend and stay safe. Take care.